have thought keeping a clean office would be that hard. So what's up, Doc? Why did you want to see me?
Well, I've been looking through your records here, and you're starting to show signs of a pretty serious medical condition. It's a creeper, one that shows up over the span of years, but it's a concrete series of events that always happens.
Yeah? What is it?
It's a relatively recently found out condition called Jensenitis.
Jensenitis?
Yeah, sir. Generally one who suffers with Jensenitis starts off by getting a deeper, gruffer voice, and then it evolves into some jaded psychological obsession about someone or something. Then the sufferer usually gets one or two superhuman abilities. Wild hairstyles have also been a common symptom, but you found a way to dodge that.
Great. Is it going to be a lifelong condition?
Well, I'm afraid so. So what's your obsession about? That seems to be the only thing missing here.
Well, I have started finding the field of cyber sleuthing very interesting. I've watched all those videos about crypto and stego on the internet. I think I'm ready to write my own algorithm.
Bingo!
I don't think hiding information qualifies as something to be jaded about, Doctor.
It does now. We'll begin your mediation here in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we can keep you at a level in which you can still interact with modern society.
What's wrong with how I act?
Well, people generally like having spirited conversations. You can safely put inflections in your voice, and people will still think you're sane. You, however, do none of that.
Fine. Am I free to go now?
Yeah, sure. I'll be sure to have the secretary mail you your mediation schedule. We'll get through this together.
Who pissed on my glasses? This isn't funny, guys. Biological deposits on Seraph Gear is both a matter of international and internal security.
What did you mean back
then?
Oh,
anyway,
mate?
you caught me at a bad time. See, my girlfriend, who happens to be the second most important person in the company, is getting bombarded by stupid questions while trying to prepare for a press briefing. Anybody else out there share my pain? Why do we employ these people? It's not like you guys rush up to your manager at McDonald's and ask for the optimum angle to put the patty on the bun, or the proper ketchup to everything else ratio. Well, boss, evidently it was a bad day at work. Terrorists blew through our headquarters and captured my girlfriend. Yeah, not a good day. We went through this about 2 weeks beforehand, but they got nowhere even remotely close to Seraph HQ. Anyway, I blacked out for about 6 months while they installed all the bullcrap without my prior consent. I hate it when that happens. I also hate it when the boss rushes me. There are inter-office scandals going on that I'm trying to get to the bottom to, but all David seems to care about are these idiot hostages down at the warehouse. Fine, boss. I'll go on your errand run. Oh. Okay. Also, I gotta say, the fact that Detroit rose up from this where it used to be gives me hope for the future of mankind. I put navigate tough verbal situations with ease on my resume, and it shows
here. You just
here.
think that taking a hostage is your only way out of here. You're so committed to that tactic, you're not seeing any other solution. Let her go, and you will.
Sorry, but I got no choice.
One thing I did notice is that everyone around me is discreetly one-dimensional. I understand that you sometimes need to talk about work during work, but all these people talk about unwork-related politics are what I'm doing. At this rate, I'd kill to talk about what they had for dinner last night, or how well the Pistons did.
We thought you were a goner
Water cooler conversations get real dull around here.
The attack on HQ.
As a matter of fact, the most relatable guy that works around here is the jaded IT guy, Pritchard.
About time. What happened? You get stuck in an air duct on the way over?
How often do you get to say that? The nerd of the place is the most relatable guy. Ah, well, out on the streets. You can definitely tell the difference between residential and commercial architecture out here. Everything is laid out pretty conveniently. Mrs. Reed was waiting for me outside and coincidentally needed me to go to the police station just as the boss did. If you judged how civilized feudal Detroit was based solely on the architecture, I got some bad news.
Here?
Gangs are still a problem too, despite the rather clean appearance on the streets. So after dumping on a bunch of local gangs and telling Miss Reed the truth, I'm sent to a completely unremarkable Silco factory. But they have this weird fencing set up on a cargo ramp. Seems like an entrance to some... Holy crap. Now cue all those raving conspiracy theory lunatics of the mid-90s, because they were all spot on. They were a little less than accurate with the construction. This one looks like it cost billions. Alex kept mentioning something about turning old train stations into FEMA camps, but this one, geez, maybe it's a headquarters too. Oh good, bigger robots. Yep, a definite base of operations. Oh man, Big Man Barrett is after me now. Luckily he's a bit of a doof. Hacking the planet has been a blast so far. Let's see if we can use computers to win. Oh yeah, computers and a little muscle. Good thing these turrets are wirelessly powered.
This is your first day back since the accident 6 months ago, isn't it?
Sir, we have to go.
What happened to me was no accident.
Ah, my mistake. But it must have been stressful facing down a second incident so soon. I imagine it brought back all kinds of unpleasant memories.
Way to kill my mojo, Taggart.
My memories are none of your damn business, Taggart.
And the information you uncovered in that FEMA facility, it actually helped us track these guys. So let's just stay focused on what's important.
No need to be so tsun-tsun, David Gunn. I just came here for a briefing. So they've shipped me off to China, huh? What is this, some form of warranty joke? Well, at least the scenery is better. This is what the entire world needs to be looking towards. And I mean, a city that's stacked on top of a city? How awesome is that? You got 8 years, China. Let's make this happen. It was here that I started learning how interconnected everything was. Local gangs, the international medical conglomerate called Taiyang Medical, the Limb Clinic. It's all layered like your primitive onion networks.
Over here! Come on now! I'm relieved to know they sent a professional, at least.
That makes two of us.
Right. Well, you're not exactly what I was expecting. I was told I would be meeting a girl. How do I know you're not an imposter or some sort of double agent? Don't think I don't know this could all just be an elaborate trap to set me up.
Look, no offense, Mr. X, or whatever your name is, but I really don't have time for this. So if you could simply just give me what I came for, I'll be on my way.
Yes, yes. I have it right here. Evelyn Carmichael's autopsy report. Here, take it.
Thank you.
I trust you will put this information to good use, because accountability and justice is at an all-time low, I'm afraid. It pains me to see this once great city, which stood as a bastion for reform and progress against our oppressive communist origins, succumb to the trappings of corporate bureaucracy and petty corruption. Corruption so often typical of your Western governments.
Whatever you say. Now, if you don't mind, I really must be going.
Well, there is still the matter of my payment. 1,000 credits was the agreed-upon price, I believe. Isn't that right?
A little piece of advice. When attempting to extort money from someone, don't give them what they want before trying to rip them off.
What? What? You mean you aren't going to pay? But I risked everything to get you that file.
Chalk it up to a learning experience and move on.
You scoundrel! You'll regret this someday. You just mock my words.
See you later, X.
Hello, Adam.
Getting to meet a news personality was alright too, though I had to be flown back halfway across the world to do that.
You're a computer.
A sophisticated AI program, so they say.
Let's talk about the central conflict about this series of events, augmentation. As I mentioned before, everybody here talks about augmentation. Everybody there talks about augmentation. I talk about augmentation. Oprah talks about augmentation. It's the new thing, kinda like smartphones during your guys' time. There are officially sanctioned augmentations and black market augmentations. There's a pretty big king in China known as the Harvesters, who kill people with top-level augmentations. You can spot them quite easily. They put a ball and finish on their augmentations. It's safe to say that it's a billion-dollar business, so you would expect there to be some serious detractors. The biggest group calls themselves Humanity Front, and the leader is just calling for heavier regulation of the industry. The real issue there is, who honestly wants more regulation, at least from an American perspective? It's been brought up plenty of times that Humanity Front is an Illuminati-controlled group, and I'm sometimes inclined to believe it. It's not like the Illuminati hasn't incited violence before. To me, if you're against augmentation, aligning yourself with the Purity First group makes more sense, but they're quite radical. If only there was an ideological revolution led by someone who had no ties to anybody powerful. Future weapon control is quite fluid, and the augs that are designed as compensation for weapon recoil work automatically. It gives the Pentagon something to look forward to. The future combat augmentations also work quite well. Stealth functions properly. Tactical cover functions great, easy to use. All I have to do is think about it. Well, if I had to keep talking in depth about my adventures, I'd be here all day. Just know that those in charge lie and like to hide behind multiple layers of proxies, both on the computer and in an institutional sense. It's been the same for hundreds of years prior. Wheel keeps on turning and all that garbage. They just keep turning faster than they used to. Oh yeah, and everything revolves around me. Remember that.